Bradford versus Scruffy. S.C.RUFFEY was once the leader of the troublesome trucks, after Oliver, the Great Western Engine, pulled him apart a long time ago. He now sits in the yard like any other truck, but he plans to get his leadership back one way or another. Percy had to take some stone trucks to the quarry. S.C.RUFFEY was one of the trucks amongst the line of trucks. He had a plan in place. "When we get to the junction, push as hard as you can," he whispered. Percy didn't hear them. He puffed cheerily along the line. Percy couldn't wait to see Toby up at the quarry. Then Percy went to a tunnel and came out rocketing onto the junction. He hurled off the tracks and Scruffy smiled with triumph. "Trucks won. Percy's a hero," he smirked. It was a sunny day on Sodor, and Samson was bringing Bradford the brakevan to take control of the trucks. "It's horrible, Bradford. These stories I've heard from the engines could make anyone never pull trucks again," said Samson. "Don't worry, Samson. I've dealt with these trucks before, and I'll conquer them again. No truck can cause trouble when I'm around," said Bradford. Samson and Bradford puffed into Vickerstown station. Bradford had to go with Douglas to Bradford to collect the ballast train. "Hello there, number 10. I hear you're working with troublesome trucks. I'll handle them for you," said Bradford. "Hello, Bradford. My name's Douglas, and there's a truck I should warn you about. He's the leader and can—" "Say no more, Douglas," interrupted Bradford. "Just let me surprise them. They won't be expecting that." Douglas parked at the Bradford station, shunted the trucks into a line, and waited for Bradford's instructions. "Listen up. We are to be at Alsburg by afternoon tea, so I expect no delay, and all of you be in order," called Bradford. The trucks were silent as Douglas set off. When they were on the main line, the trucks behaved well until Douglas stopped to pick up more trucks. Scruffy was on board. The other trucks snickered.
"The leader's with us. Let's tear this brakeman right off the rails,"
whispered the trucks. Douglas puffed away. They came to a hill. The trucks waited for Scruffy's commands. "Wait for it. Wait for it. Now!" The truck shoved Douglas down the hill. "On my pretties! On, bellowed Scruffy. Bradford and Douglas applied their brakes, but it was no use for the runaway. "Don't listen to that tiny brakeman. He can barely hold us back. Keep going till his wheels burn off." Douglas tried hard to fight for control. He saw the docks in the distance and blew his whistle loudly. "I hope they can hear me," he cried. Cranky saw Douglas just in time. "Clear the line! There's a runaway train!" Salty bit his truck so hard they derailed. Dock workers put sandbags and anything they could to stop Douglas onto the line. Cranky and Big McGee watched in horror. 5, 4, 3, 2... Douglas raced in and crashed into the barrier. The trucks careened off the line, with ballast exploding in all directions. After the dust had settled, the dockyard was in a terrible mess. Luckily no one was hurt, except Douglas, who was now covered in heavy debris. Harvey the crane engine came by to clear up the mess. Bradford watched the rescue and was seething with anger. That night at the yards, the trucks gathered to celebrate the victory. Well done, everyone. We showed that brakevan and that silly engine what we are capable of. This time we will show no mercy until that brakeman is history. If he is part of your train, remember he is following you. Don't obey his orders. We have to break this brakeman, said Scruffy. The next day the trucks caused loads of trouble, making the engines later than ever before and causing even more accidents. Bradford was overwhelmed. He saw another brakeman. He was a Great Western design. Bradford spoke to him. "Attention! On your wheels, fellow brakeman!" Toad was startled. "Oh, hello, my name's Toad. You've given me quite a scare there. What's your name?" "I'm Bradford, and I was wondering how you deal with trucks," he asked. "Oh, Oliver would know. He once tore their leader apart by accident," said Toad. "Oliver's a brakeman too?" asked Bradford. "No, I'm not a brakeman. I'm an engine," puffed the Great Western engine, and told him about Scruffy. "Right, of course," said Bradford. Just then the guard's whistle blew, and Oliver set off. "See you lads later. Make sure those trucks are in order," called Bradford. "I certainly will. See you later, Bradford," bellowed Toad. Bradford had to rest at Knapford for the night. Douglas shunted him into the sidings. "I will be happy you're on my twin's train tomorrow," said Douglas. "You have a twin?" questioned Bradford. "Aye, I do. And I had some trouble with a brakeman years ago. He was always making me late, and I was blamed. Donny put him in his place, until he had an accident with a signal box, and I finished that spiteful brakevan off by smashing him into pieces. So if you need anything done, Donny and I can help you. We can even take care of that pile of scrap over there." Bradford had an idea. "Actually, I do have a plan. Meet me here tomorrow night with Donald. Once we take down their leader in front of them, the trucks will all respect us," said Bradford. The next day the trucks were even more troublesome than ever. So Top Hat was getting so cross with his engines that he didn't even know what to do. Confusion and delay was running rampant. That night, Donald and Douglas crept into Knapford Yards. Bradford told the two engines the plan. "It feels good to be back in power and run those stupid engines off the line. We won't stop. The engines will have to rip me from the rails if they want us to obey." "Then let's see if you're as good as your word," said a voice. "All right, lads, stretch him out." The two twins pulled Scruffy. His wood was splintering and his frame groaned. "Not this again," he groaned. "Stop! It hurts! It hurts!" "Keep pulling," called Bradford. The coupling creaked so much that it snapped. "Ah, you think you could squeeze it out of me? Trouble for all engines," he called. Donald rolled backwards and biffed into Scruffy. Douglas rolled back as well. "Be careful of what you ask for, you wee little bug." The trucks were silent. "Remember this day, maggots. This'll be you if you cause any more trouble for this railway." wailed Scruffy. Then, with one final snap, the leader of the trucks was once more a heap of rubble. The trucks were horrified. They shuddered with fear as they saw their leader had been demolished. Donald and Douglas went their separate ways, dragging bits of Scruffy with them. "Let that be a lesson to you, disgraceful lot," said Bradford. The next day, Sir Topham Hatt came to the yards. "So, Scruffy, I see you've been making the railway insufferable for my engines, and this time I won't be rebuilding you. Off to the mainland with you. Hopefully you'll be a good truck there." He swung round to the other trucks in the yard. "And that goes for you too. If you don't behave, I will purchase trucks that don't cause trouble for my engines. Understand?" The trucks fell immediately silent. "Well, Bradford, I wasn't expecting this, but you had to smash a few trucks to make a railway, I guess," he said. "Thank you, sir, for giving me the privilege of straightening up your trucks in shipshape. Hopefully you won't need me in the future for any more trouble with trucks." Douglas took Bradford to Vicarstown Station, where he was shunted on Sampson's scrap train. "Did you get all the trucks back in order?" asked Sampson. "Yes, I did. It took a bit of sacrifice, but these trucks won't be troublesome anytime soon. Isn't that right?" A remorseful grumble came from the truck in front of him. The train left the station. Three, two, one. And 3, 2, 1.